Assalamu alaikum, this is Sari Sawa. Every Thursday at 12 p.m., join me right here on Radio Dawn for The Inner Journey, a space where faith meets healing and science meets the soul. As a hypnotherapist and a life coach, I'll take you through powerful conversations, reflections, and tools to help you overcome challenges, find balance, and reconnect with your true self. So tune in every Thursday at 12 p.m. for the Inner Journey. With me, Sari Sawa, only on Radio Dawn. Your community, your voice, your connections. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters, and welcome back to Radio 107.6 FM. You tuned into the radio show with me, The Inner Journey show. Every Thursday, we go through this journey on mental health and well-being, just to make all the new listeners aware that I am a hypnotherapist and a life coach. And as I mentioned, that we go through this journey every Thursday where we speak about mental health and well-being awareness and all those conversation that we find challenging to speak within our community, within our homes, so we can really start normalizing these conversations. And as I mentioned, that to my new listeners, I am a hypnotherapist and a life coach, and we bring different kind of topics here every Thursday where we can understand us deeply so we can have more happy and meaningful life. I do tend to bring different organizations and different guests on my show, and where we can learn a bit more about what's happening in the community and how we can really up-level our lives to live more, as I mentioned, the meaningful and happy lives. Today, I have a brilliant guest, someone that I have been looking forward to interviewing, someone who has really changed my life on a personal level and professional level. And before further ado, I would like to call upon my mentor, my teacher, as well as the master life coach and hypnotherapist and counselor from all the way to London. And we'll get him to come and chat about his college and everything what he's doing. Okay, I'd like to welcome you, John.
Hi, what a lovely intro.
Thank you. I was just trying to get everything. There's so many things that I can actually say, but I was trying to really minimize the kind of impact that you have made in my life and the people around. So let's go into, tell me, John, a bit more about you and how your journey started about life coach and hypnotherapy and counseling.
Where do I begin? If I go way back to the start, probably like a lot of clients that I see, I started out at school, ended up getting quite bullied, had a thing called brittle bone disorder, so I often broke my bones, which meant I got bullied more. So when I left school, with this mistaken belief, which is I'm not good enough. And most of the people I meet as a hypnotherapist have this I'm not good enough belief about whatever their problem is. So I went around through life thinking I wasn't good enough, thinking I wasn't accepted. So I started to look for jobs that would suit someone that wasn't good enough. So my friends got jobs, really nice jobs. I was just looking for like poorly paid jobs where they just might accept me. So back when I was young, when I was like 16, my first job was £1 an hour. So I don't know. That's either saying I'm really old or I got paid really badly. But my life went on from there. Not good enough, all poorly paid jobs. And like they say, if you aim low, you'll always hit the target. But I wasn't aiming high at all, you know. And then eventually, at one point, I got to a kind of thing in my life was I had no money. It was all going so badly. Started to do boot sales. And I always looked up to my big brother because my big brother was like my hero. But he was a naughty boy. He was a criminal. He was naughty. And he had all the money and the wealth and the stuff. But I loved him and I looked up to him. So I was like, well, he makes money that way. Maybe I can make money this way. So I ended up, stupidly, selling pirate DVDs. And I'm mainly, if someone sees me from the past, they would still go, oh, it's the DVD man. Because I was so well known for it. and I made lots of money at it, but it was not a good way to live, because I knew at some point I might get caught. It was terrible. And it was this time in my life where I was making money, and I kind of knew it was wrong, and I kind of wanted it to end, but I didn't know what to do. And right at that moment in my life, I was like, I want to give back to the universe. I want to do something nice. So that was when I kind of looked at Childline, and I started to counsel at Childline voluntarily. So I went into this counselling. I had 4 hours a week at Childline, and it was brilliant, you know. And it was hard because there were so many tragic calls, and you really felt for the children and stuff. And I remember my supervisor saying to me once, I was having like a debrief, and she said, like, you never cry. What's the matter with you? You're so hard. Like, it's children. You don't even cry. And then I go, oh, okay. The week after, I was bawling, okay, sobbing. Then now I'm sobbing to X Factor. Now anything makes me cry, you know, because I actually let my feelings come into it. Anyway, doing Childline, wonderful. They asked me to mentor other counsellors. They said, you're really, really good. They said, you have to go for a mentoring exam. I passed my mentoring exam. Esther Ranson comes down to congratulate me. We have a night, like me and Esther Ranson are drinking. It's like incredible. And then I come out of Childline. My phone rings. My friend said, you've been raided for the DVDs. I'm like, oh, okay. So now suddenly I have to go and be arrested. So I go and get arrested the next day. And then I have to go through the whole court process. I end up in Croydon Crown Court. I just miss going to prison. I get suspended sentence because I was a good boy all my life, and I'd done this thing where I kind of stupidly made money and I thought it was a game. Really, didn't ever think I would get in bad trouble. So at that point, I had a decision to make. So everyone used to say to me, "Just go back to DVDs. You're really good at it." But they just wanted my DVDs, obviously. I was like, no, I've got to do something else. So Childline kept calling, but I went and became an ice cream man for a little while because I still didn't think I was good enough for that career. So after a little while, I'm an ice cream man driving around, and I realised ice cream men don't have a fun life because in London there's no summer. Okay, so it's cold all year round, right?
Yeah.
So then eventually I see a hypnotherapy course. When I'm online, I'm searching, and I think I'm going to try it. And I click it, and I'm scared. And I go to university, and I'm like, I don't fit in. I'm not accepted. I'm not good enough. I do 4 months of this course. It's an 11-month course. I try to leave, and then I just stay there. And then something clicked in about month 8 or 7 or 8. I started to realise I was quite good at this thing, and I really loved it. And I started to realize, and maybe your listeners would understand this, you think you're not good at things, but you always know something other people don't know. And I had this PhD in life. I knew what it was like to be so broke that you had £1 left. You know, I knew what it was like to be. I remember going to Croydon with my kids to the pound shop and going, right, I've got 10 quid. Okay, you can buy 3 toys each, but hurry up because I've only got £1 for the car park. And we'd be running back to the car park, get in the car. Okay, and I remember being that broke, you know. And also, I knew what it was like to have children. A lot of my colleagues didn't. I knew what it was like to go into my children's bedroom and put my hand on them to check they were breathing, because I love something more than life itself. So I have this other stuff, you know. So I became a hypnotherapist. That was fantastic. Went to Harley Street, like really straight away. Remember coming back from Harley Street once in a really nice suit, and I saw someone from my past, and they went, "Where have you been, caught again?" And I was like, "No, I'm I'm a hypnotherapist now." And they was like, "What's that? Do you speak to the dead?" And I was like, "No, like." So I
Thank
became a
you.
hypnotherapist and saw clients in Harley Street, saw clients in Surrey, loved it, and then I thought I would like other people to be able to learn this. But what I didn't like about my old college is no one helped me afterwards. So they just went, have a nice life. I hope you get clients.
Mm.
So I started to develop a kind of college, a course with an aftercare policy where I'd give you the best possible chance to see clients, which is why I know you've done so well, and other people, there's so many people have done so well from the aftercare package. But because we built a family culture, we're kind of like a family. We like meeting up, don't we? And we kind of like seeing each other, and every time we meet up, it's like a reunion of this family, the family you want to come around at Christmas, not your family.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much. I mean, again, sharing everything with me, because
Yeah.
the one thing that I absolutely loved about when I attended your masterclass was how you can really utilize your vulnerability to connect with people. Because and again, you must have been hearing every time I talk about it, that how I was so guarded about how being vulnerable, talking about the things that, the dark times of our lives, that we're a bit scared because we feel that we're going to get judged, and then we keep it to ourselves, not realizing that this is the things that help us connect with people. And how you've mentioned about not feeling good enough, because I know that this has been the theme, the coaching that I do. A lot of people feel this, not feeling good enough. And I mean, the perfect story that you have mentioned about like how your dark times bring the best out of you. You were able to, go into the court and all of these things, but you was able to really not give up. And this is where I think a lot of people not go and thrive for their dreams, and they just think this is the life, this is the end of it. So tell me a bit more about not feeling good enough, because a lot of us as a human level feel that something probably from the childhood or anything that's been sent, especially in school, like you mentioned about bully. So anything that you think that people can really understand, like why people feel not good enough and how we can really transform or, be out of that state.
I think we're in a world now where we're told to compare ourselves with everyone. So
Mm.
social media is all about comparison, these false stories that we see, other people are always doing so much better than us. And I've been guilty of it. I've put pictures of me up on holiday, you're like, what did I do that for? Like, what was that about? But we see other people's lives, and I always say comparison is the killer of all joy, because you want to chase what they've got, And the thing about life is, like, everyone I meet for as a client, as you know, are not good enough at the thing they want to do. They the phobia client, I can't do this thing because I can't do it, but
Mm.
I can't go on a plane, or I can't go near a spider, and it's always I'm not good enough to do the thing, But I was thinking about sort of happiness and what people want, like, because there's a thing that we do is we go, when I get that, then I'll be happy, right? So all I've got to do is get that thing, and then I'll be happy. And I had a client say it to me years ago. She went, if I get down to this weight, then I'll be so happy. And I went, okay. And then she got down to that weight and she went, I'm not happy. And I said, I know, because you've got the same life. But you just thought the dress size would make you happy, right? But like, what games did you play, Sarish, when you were younger? What games did you play? Board games? What did you play?
Yeah, it was playing outside on
Playing
the
outside. But what
yeah.
games did you play that were competitive?
Tag.
Tag. Okay.
Yeah, just running around.
So I played games like I was mostly indoors with not many friends, but I would play games like Monopoly or Scrabble or whatever, or football. And those are finite games. So those games are, I'm gonna have this game with you, and my idea is I have to win, right? That's a finite game, right? But what people are doing now is they think life is like that. So they go, if I get that much money, I've won, okay? And that much money, I've won, so I'll be happy. Or if I get to that dress size, I'm going to be happy, right? Whatever it is, we're all chasing this thing, okay? And the cause and effect is, if I do this thing there, therefore I'm now happy, or I am good enough, I'm good enough. But life is an infinite game. And we're in this game, we're all playing the game. And the only winners in the game are us in the present, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And the game of life only ends when the player dies. Sad. But that's the only time it ends. But that's the thing. I think what we're always trying to do is say, if I get this, therefore. But it's not like that, you know.
No,
And when you look within, as we help people do, we look within and find out that they are good enough. You are good enough. You are good at whatever you do. You're good at your thing. You're valuable. You're intelligent. You know, you can be sexy, and you can be whatever you think you are. But if you start looking at the other people, you always find yourself in a place of lack.
Absolutely. And I love the way you said it, because it's being grateful to what you've been given, like gratitude. That when you're given, I know that the law of attraction speaks like that, but even in our religion as well, which I'm sure a lot of the listeners will be able to relate to, that we say that the more grateful you are, the more you be increased. And this is when you really start focusing on the good things that are within. And another thing I really loved, again, there's a reason that I did my coaching and hypnotherapy with you, because I always tell, even on a speech as well, that I'm the kind, even if I'm getting like a little mascara, I'll do reviews, and I really have to know what I'm buying, because it's about investment. And when I came to masterclass, and this is what really connected, was that everyone has a gift. Not everyone's born with a gift. It's only when you're looking at other people, don't compare. Look at what you are gifted, because that's when you can really be fully into yourself and giving the best potential that you have, and you can really thrive on it as well, because it's natural to you. And this is where I was able to connect with you on the masterclass, and I was like, because the kind of reassurance that you gave, because you're one of the social media, I believe it was called Dream Seller as well. I know, when
I did that down. It's still on my Instagram, but people the only reason I called myself it is because I used to like this song, "Hey Mr. Dream Seller," right? Then everyone was going, "See, he's a salesman. He thinks he can sell dreams." I was like, "No, I just like the song." But that's the thing. You realise I changed the Facebook one, but I still haven't been able to change the Instagram one. I'm just, here he is.
I love it, because I can probably, that's something that has sat with me, because I'm like, yeah, you really are, because it's not really, it's the dream. Like, you support people to achieve their dreams. And you know how you've been through the times where you didn't give up, that you was like, I'm going to keep on going. You had, how we do in a logotherapy, that, meaning of life, that how you had your kids and your family. You was like, I'm gonna get up and go, keep on going, whichever way. And I believe the world around you, the universe aligned you to what you was actually best at, something that you was gifted, and that's what you support, and not chasing and not feeling good enough, because a lot of people do suffer with that. And another thing I wanted to discuss was the trauma, because when I was thinking of going to more trauma informed, I know we are trauma informed coaches, but a lot of people don't understand the word trauma. They run away or kind of escape that, oh, I'm not traumatized, but really truly it's not as. So what would you say the definition of trauma, and how small it can be and manifest in your life?
It can, yeah. There can be. There's all different types of trauma, but you can have a traumatic moment, when you're young. So what happens is something happens where you're in a state of fear or panic, or you're hurt. And what you're meant to do is run to mummy, or run to your parent, or someone who's looking after you. And if I'm hurt, I get a cuddle, okay? And then that is kind of released. That feeling is released, right? Or if I'm fearful and I run and someone saves me, suddenly I'm okay now, because I've had, I'm rescued. But a lot of people go through a time in their life where something happens, hurt, fear, panic, and there's no one to save them. There's no one to help them. And so that sticks. So that feeling is repressed. It's stuck somewhere deep inside. And then, little things can make that. I don't really like the word triggered, but like little things can trigger that later on in life. And it can be surprising how the things that you are triggered by have got nothing to do with the trauma. But it could be something like, I don't feel like I'm in control. Therefore, now I'm going to have an anxiety attack, But trauma can be, there can be different small traumas that we experience. And then there can be obviously terrible ones that people go through, like car crashes or war or stuff like that. Intergenerational traumas and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Again, it really come down to like it could be the PTSD, which is like the severe,
Yeah.
but it could be as small as because when we do the regression, when we take people back in time,
Mm.
sometimes the clients will say that I didn't even know it's as small as I wasn't given hugged,
Yeah.
a hug from a parent. And again, repressed emotion that manifests differently in adulthood. And then again, most of them is like not feeling good enough. Thank you for sharing that. Tell us about subconscious mind because I think this is our favorite topic. And the more I have learned about subconscious mind and belief, and the more I've understood that really truly we do have control on ourselves and the reality around us. So tell us in your definition of subconscious mind.
Well, I think it all goes back to understanding that as children, we think the big man in a red suit is going to come down the chimney pot and give us presents, okay? And we believe that, completely believe that, And the subconscious mind is a bit like that. It can believe stuff from when we're younger, and it can hold on to it. And then because the subconscious mind gets things wrong, its primary job is to look after us, to keep us safe. So the subconscious mind will say, don't go on that tube train because it will be really bad for you. It's going to be very crowded and you'll have an anxiety attack. So actually start avoiding tubes from now on. Actually get the bus, okay? But it's wrong because it's made a mental mistake because something happened once that made you fearful of like the doors shutting or the crowd or something like that. And so although the subconscious mind is brilliant because it works with the conscious mind, sometimes it makes mental mistakes, and because its job is to keep us safe, it will tell us things like, don't do public speaking because everyone will laugh at you like that time in assembly, And so you go, no, I won't do that. Okay. It would just do these things. But what we have to do is when we do hypnotherapy, as you know, I always say when we relax the conscious mind, subconscious mind will open like a flower blossoming, and it will take suggestions from that moment. And so we talk to the subconscious mind, And you know the whole thing about, I'm sure you might have said it to your listeners about the elephant rider, and the elephant probably told them that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I told them differently. But you can summarize it if you want that how that the conscious and subconscious mind is.
Yeah, I mean, we always say that the conscious mind is the elephant rider and the subconscious mind is the elephant. And so the elephant rider is going down towards the river and he thinks he's in charge of the elephant. Same as we do, think consciously we're in control, right? Elephant gets the river, elephant believes there's a crocodile in the river, and now it won't cross the river because its job is to keep the conscious mind safe. So it just, no matter what happens, it's not crossing that river. And even though on the other side of the river, life is amazing, it's great. There's no fears, worries. It's all calm and peaceful. It won't cross. And it's the same as us. When that subconscious mind is trying to look after us, it will say, well, don't go to that restaurant because there'll be a lot of people there and that'll make you worry. Or don't go and meet this person or that person because, and it will look after you, but it will make your world smaller and smaller because you can have the life you desire and deserve if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it starts giving that excuses, reasons, stories that sometimes is made up, but it's trying to keep you safe. Then how would you say that going back to, because now you're the founder of Evolve College London as well. Now you actually train people. I've trained from me and I absolutely love it and recommend it to everyone. So how would you say that? How does that manifest in having, if people are thinking of having a change of careers, or if they want to become more independent and work for themselves? Because I know I was used to work with NHS or different businesses 9 to 5, and I had a set time. When I had to switch from working for someone to myself, I know there was a lot of subconscious beliefs. So what would you suggest if someone's thinking of having that like change of like, if they already have that gift of they're able to help people without realizing and people feel transformed? So how would you say that if they're thinking of doing more independent working for themselves, what kind of limiting beliefs can show up for them?
Yeah, that obviously everyone that I would say most people that come through my college will go through at some point I'm going to be the only one that it doesn't work for. I'm going to be the only one. I hear it all the time, all the time. And my job is to, once the course is finished, to come on board after and go, okay, come on, what are we going to do now? Because now you've qualified. So what are you doing about it? And I think that's the thing about the process of our college is the course is just the start. But I don't know of any other person that runs a college, you could say like a guru, I'm not a guru, that builds the website with you. Like, I'll go on, I can't build a website, I'm not tech. I'll go, all right, let's get it here and I'll make it for you now. And I build the website with them, or when we do the Facebook and Instagram training, the social media advertising, we come along and we all have another training in that, and then we have our photos done, right? I remember you having 2 sets of photos done.
I'm not very tech. No, absolutely. No, I loved, and this is the reason that when I say that, for some reason, when I attended the masterclass, I signed up. How, when, why, I don't know, but I do not regret it at all because, and I think this is what attracted me towards your college. I have researched on ChatGPT as well, by the way, and they said that it's not just about life coaching and hypnotherapist college. It's like entrepreneurial. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it actually builds you. And I was like, I can see that because what I loved about working with you was you're really kind of one-to-one and you really kind of connect with the person. It's not about, I know some of the hypnotherapists and life coaching colleges, they're like, okay, here's a certification, off you go. But with you, like it's been about 2 years, I think, since I have done my hypnotherapy, and here I am still. We're doing different trainings. We have had the somatic healing. We've got confidence coaching. So the trainings that you're doing, you really do kind of, how you've mentioned, you've built a community, like Evolve College community, and the trainings that you're doing, you're keeping us informed with all the updated therapies. That's the best thing. And I know that if I've got a bit of a difficult client or I'm not too sure, I'll just quickly drop you a message and I'll get the reply back. Maybe the supervision is there. And I think this is where you're different from any other colleges because in the world of AI and everything's like virtual. And I love that human connection where I'm able to send you. It's like, I know it's John and I know that I will get a more personal advice where nowadays everything's done online and you don't have that human to human connection. And that's really great for building rapport. And would you say that? So I know that, how do you advertise your life coaching? Because I know that you do masterclass, which I attended.
Yeah, we do. We advertise mainly on Instagram and Facebook. I put a little bit on TikTok, and we normally have a masterclass once a month. So we've got one coming up this weekend, which you're coming to speak at, which is great. So that'd be amazing. And then the following month in May, I believe we've got one on the 9th and 10th of May, which again, people can just come along. I always just say, check us out. We'll definitely check you out. So we don't let everyone in. Because
absolutely.
You have to have like-minded people, don't we? And it's really important that when you have a course and there's say 30 people, that everyone gets along and everyone's okay. And what I really love to make sure as well is when I teach. Firstly, I teach like I'm teaching a bunch of children that just don't know this thing. Because it's very easy because I know it all. Just go, you just do this, 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 and they're like, that's so hard. So I have to break it down, don't I, bit by bit. So now we do this, and then we do this. Really, really take my time. But also, if someone's quiet in class, just saying, I'd like to hear from you a bit. We don't want someone dominating, and we don't, someone not getting a chance to ask a question. So you're trying to make sure that everyone gets a fair crack at it, And we've been running for 8 years now. And I did say in the beginning, now supervision is only this many months. I still get people from 7 years ago. So I've got a client. I'm like, you know what? I'm not meant to be doing this. Okay, I'll do the voice message.
And this is where you're so generous. And this is the reason I love it's the mindset, how you mentioned. And I keep on coming back to London. People sometimes do say, like, do you travel all the way from Nottingham? And I was like, honestly, every time is so worth it because it's the mindset when you are, especially when you are building a better life or trying to really reach your dreams, you need that mindset. And I think this is what this training do. It didn't just teach me, I can speak from a personal level. It didn't just teach me how to mentor other people and change their lives. It changed my life because every weekend when we're learning, we're doing it on each other.
Yeah.
So we're able to see that how the clients will be experiencing. And I know there's so many limiting beliefs and traumas that I had to, let go. And so I can be on the other side. And this is where it could be a very life-changing, the trainings that you're doing. So you said there's a weekend, this weekend, the masterclass is coming, and there's another one happening in May. And tell us about people who cannot travel from Nottingham. And I know that you do online, but just tell us a bit more in your words that if someone wants to sign up for life coaching or become a hypnotherapy, if they're already counselors, already working with kids or adults, vulnerable audience, what would you say that how can they actually sign up or start this journey with you?
You can do it online. Obviously, everything has been filmed. We made sure we had nice microphones and nice cameras, so everything's been filmed and it can be done online. I've had people from India do the training, from Wales, all around the country. Sometimes people come for like a couple of weekends. So they travel down, do the first weekend, then they'll do the next one online, then they'll do the third one or something like that. So if it's the 5-month course, it's just five weekends, like, one a month. We've also put this thing in recently where if someone's got a rich uncle or something and they want to do it intensive with me, just me, then they come down and we literally go through half the course in 1 week.
Wow.
And then they do half the course in another week, but it's a lot more money. And that's something people have to apply for. But as you know, the live training is the best if you can get there. We do it online, but there's nothing like being in class. It's nothing like pairing up. And as you know, we always say, bring your problems to practice on, and then you get self-development. And I always say, everyone leaves the course a different person, completely different person to when they came.
Absolutely. No, thank you for sharing that. I completely agree that it's, even though I had the option to do it on a hub online, but I chose, it's only 1 weekend of the month anyway, and it's for 5 months. And like I said, self-development is one of the huge things happening right now. Everyone wants to evolve and have self-development, and this course doesn't just qualify you to help other people evolve on their confident self, but you do it to yourself. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. And thank you so much for attending. If people want to reach out to you, what is your best contact details?
So they can go onto the website, which is evolvelifecoachingcollege.com. They can personally email me, just to me only, john@evolvelifecoachingcollege.com. Or they can check me out on Facebook, evolvelifecoachingcollege.com, or John Mill Dream Seller on Instagram. And I think I'm on TikTok as something like @John51. But that, anyone wants to give me a call, my number's on the website. They can call me up, and I'm very approachable.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And again, taking the time out and telling us some more about it. And I will see you soon, regardless. And thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you, John.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Alhamdulillah. What a brilliant. I mean, this is the reason that I'm part of Evolve College even now as well, because the mindset shift that you get from this college is different. And again, coming back to just quickly running the people who want to be a life coach, because I'm a life coach. That's what I did the first thing, the 5 months, 1 weekend of the month, you get qualified, it's in college, and it's a level 5 the certification as well. So it has a value too if you want to work with a corporate. And then there is 9 months hypnotherapist, and you get registered with GHR. So it's regulated, just like the doctors and other medical professions do. Again, the reason I wanted to have John on my show is because a lot of people are going through this transformation when it comes to working in jobs and working for themselves. Because even in our religion, as we know that we do say that, if you the trading or doing your own business, there's more blessing to it. So that's why I found that this was a perfect timing to get someone like John, who has transformed my life. Do you know how they say that you need two people in your life that can reassure you that you are capable and you create miracles? Because we all have the capabilities, we have that capacity, but we just want someone to kind of reassure that you are capable of it. And I know that's something that changed my life. I would say, after alhamdulillah, with Allah's blessing, that I manifested, or I was guided to this college. And looking back now, how it was a John, because he was the kind of person, like, when we having this kind of like doubt on ourselves, can we actually able to run our own business? And he will reassure you that if I can come from this and be where I am today, why can't you? And that reassurance really truly, not just me, there's a lot of life coaches and hypnotherapists that they are doing so amazing, making what people make in a month, they're making in a day. This is how transforming it can be. So anyone, again, wants to go into this journey of life coaching, because it's becoming quite popular since in London and in the UK as well. So if you want someone to be life coaches or hypnotherapy, I know a lot of counselors or psychotherapists would like to go more specialize in the subconscious, because I always mention in my show that I love to work on a subconscious level, because on conscious level, we can make changes. But if we can really make that into a very deeper self-review, that we becomes a second habit, this is the way it can really transform your life. So alhamdulillah, I hope you guys enjoyed this show. And if you've got any more questions, or if you want to have any more contact details of John, it is evolvelifecoaching.com, the website. You can reach out to John. Otherwise, that you can reach out to me and or the radio, and we can always put you in contact with them. On this note, I'm hoping that this was quite beneficial for you to understand your subconscious level as well as everything else. Thank you so much. And inshallah, you have a great, great week ahead, brothers, sisters, and I'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. This is Sari Sawa. Every Thursday at 12 p.m., join me right here on Radio Dawn for The Inner Journey, a space where faith meets healing and science meets the soul. As a hypnotherapist and a life coach, I'll take you through powerful conversations, reflections, and tools to help you overcome challenges, find balance, and reconnect with your true self. So tune in every Thursday at 12 p.m. for The Inner Journey. With me, Sari Sawa, only on Radio Dawn. Your community, your voice, your connections.